Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and that is my take on the Ukrainian situation, which has been going on for a long time, the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. And in particular, I want to highlight the stuff that I don't know about it, because I think that's interesting and significant. I do not watch a lot of mainstream news and media, so part of my gaps in information might be from the fact that I don't, pay attention too much to it, but just the things that filter through might be interesting to compare notes, if nothing else. So, with that said, concentrate, I suppose, on the accuracy or consistency of what I have to say about it and the things that are missing in a nutshell. So, my understanding is that the Ukrainian conflict is not what it appears to be. What we're told that it is. I've heard a couple of conflicting things, some stories which were apparently leaked from meetings regarding this conflict here in the U.S. meetings. So what my understanding is that it was provoked, it was designed, engineered, if you will, as a matter of foreign policy, with an expected and achieved result, which is to get Russia to react to it. That is to say that some years ago, the Ukraine was slated to become a member of NATO, is my understanding, which would have put a Western bulwark on the border of Russia directly, which is an extremely aggressive move. If you know anything about NATO, it's I'm no expert, but I know that it would have been unsupportable for the Russian people and the Russian government to allow that. And they were very clear about this, is my understanding. They have been saying for a long time this cannot happen, and there was no problem really until the U.S. insisted on it. So they went ahead and backed the Ukraine becoming a NATO member in defiance of Russia's wishes, which forced them into a position where they had to defend it. So that's my understanding. And we're not hearing about this. I haven't heard about this except in one video. And the thing is, the conflict was not regrettable to the U.S. And this is the part that is missing. The conflict was very much intended and expected. I believe that we wanted to force Russia into a stance where we would eventually have to fight them. And I don't know exactly why that is, but I'm guessing it was to control the events, because perhaps our people, our planners, decided that a conflict was imminent no matter what. So it's better to initiate it. Therefore, you have control. I'm just guessing. This is a hypothesis. I have no evidence for this, but it would make sense to me that a military offense would give us some level of control over the events, having initiated them. I don't know. But what we're not hearing is any accurate information. Usually we don't even hear in the media, in the news, about reasons for things in general. We hear maybe what's happened with a lot of omissions, not why it's happened, not who did it, or what the rationale was. You're expected to not have enough information or judgment to be able to process the whys of the events. You're only basically told the minimum, and not very accurately at that, if ever. That's what I see anyway. But it's frustrating, because I think that it's the wrong direction to disempower the average person, to assume that people shouldn't have a say in it, or that they're not qualified to think about things analytically, or that they don't have a stake in it. I mean, we're funding this. If you want to really get specific, we're funding all of these military endeavors. We definitely have a stake in world peace. We have a stake in nuclear proliferation, or the use or eventual use of nuclear weapons. So we absolutely should have a voice, and that requires information. That requires some kind of bead on what's going on, and they don't give a crap. They don't give a crap if people hear about it. It's their show, it's their game, and it is very much a they. It's a they, because it's a closed culture, it's a closed system. Our military is encapsulated by national defense secrets, right? It's in the interest of national defense. You don't even really get to know where the money's going, or why the plans are being made, who's involved. It's all internal. and that makes it a they, not an us. So that's part of the problem. Anyway, 5-minute video. I feel like being a provoker is different than being a victim. I feel like the reason you do anything defines the quality of that thing that you do. And if the US intentionally put a bulwark, our own bases and our own backing on Russia's border just for the purpose of provoking them, that's different, isn't it, than what we've been hearing, if nothing else. That changes the way it looks. And if it's always possible to provoke conflict. It's always possible to provoke action by somebody else and then paint it like it was an altercation, or paint it like it was somebody doing something to you. And that's what we do over and over. It's embarrassing. It's not true, and it's underhanded. If you can't do it honestly, don't do it. Figure out a better way. I hope everybody has a great day. Reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.